Good evening, everybody. A quiet night. Thanks for sticking around a couple more minutes past 9:30 for the 48 Weather Extra. Continue to monitor the National Weather Service for more reports coming in. One of the latest reports was out in the shoals with straight line winds yesterday, that is, 75 to about 100 miles an hour. So one of the things we've learned about some of these tornadic signatures, you don't necessarily have to have a tornado to get damage on the south side, the inflow into that mesocyclone. So we had that happening mainly out in the shoals, and then at some point in time we had the rear flank downdraft drop as we were getting baseball size hail and close to softball size hail at Joe Wheeler State Park. I don't know if you saw some of those images of the green, one of the greens on the golf course, just divots, huge divots from the large hail there. Again, they're working to fix that. So Mother Nature did some aerating out there on the yard. Hope you're getting help if you need it with some of the damage we've had. And if you have damage, especially to your roof, you're going to want to tarp that because we've got rain coming in as we go into the weekend. So again, water is your worst enemy sometimes when it comes to these after the events. And again, make sure you're practicing safety. No generators in the house, not even a generator in the garage if you've lost power. Some of you may be in that situation. Some of you may be using chainsaws that you haven't used a chainsaw for a while. I know from personal experience, when you get on that chainsaw, you got that adrenaline running and you're just trying to get everything done as quickly as you can. The cleanup process is a slow process, so just be careful. Even just as simple as climbing a ladder up onto that roof, just make sure you're being patient and being good. Tournament Saturday. It depends on what tournament it is. If you got an indoor tournament, man, you're going to be great. We'll talk about Saturday coming up. But right now, as we kind of switch over here and talk about our weather tonight, it's really comfortable out there. I did not look up and see the Starlink. It was flying by. I think it was around 8:48. I missed it. Would have been perfect viewing for that, but I was watching hockey. I was inside watching the Stanley Cup. And if you guys haven't been watching the Stanley Cup, you know, I've never been a real hockey guy until I started going to more Havoc games. And I've been season ticket holder at the Havoc for 2 years now. And I tell you, the NHL is such a different level. It's insane. So it's going to change the way I watch hockey when I go to the Havoc game, because these games, the NHL, the Cup games have been incredible, been really, really aggressive out there. But again, when I can't watch football, I'm going to be watching hockey. I'm just not a big pro basketball fan. I'm a huge college basketball fan, but having gone to a few pro games, they're just a little slow for me until they start really playing in the playoffs. All right, Teresa got to see the Starlink over Guntersville. Yeah, beautiful out there. Softball tournament. We're going to have rain this weekend. We're going to talk about that right now. Here's your 10-day forecast. We're not going to make you wait for a commercial on this one. And I think Starlink may be visible again tomorrow as well, but may have more clouds. So 77 tomorrow. We're going to have some morning showers. We'll get to that coming up. And then 76 Friday. Friday's probably going to be the nicest day as we head into the weekend. A lot of graduation ceremonies still going on. A lot of family gatherings going on. You know, combining not only graduation, but also Memorial Day weekend. This has always been a real special weekend for me. My dad's birthday was the 25th of May. We'd always go down to the lake, Table Rock Lake, where my grandparents had a lake house, and we'd go down there for every Memorial Day weekend. And on the way down, we had a 1976 Plymouth Volare station wagon. It was green with the custom green vinyl seats in it as well. That's the car I learned to drive in. But Memorial Day, again, has always been a special weekend for me. Of course, we'd always go to the grave sites of our grandparents and things like that, and remember our fallen heroes and that sort. But again, it was always about being with family. So on our way down to the lake, it was about a 4-hour drive. We would always listen to the Indianapolis 500 on the radio on the way down there. We got a lot of special stories down there too from that. Call me a boomer. That sounds like my son. But anyway, as we continue with the forecast, as we get back on track, we're talking 81 Sunday. Sounds great, but we're probably going to have a few showers and storms, and it may not actually get that warm. By Monday, It's looking muggy, and we're going to get about 2 to 3 inches of rain through this Sunday, Monday period. So here's the bad news. As we get into 7 o'clock in the morning, we're talking about this period of rain, and we're almost going back into this pattern that we had earlier in the month. Remember that upper level cutoff low? Well, everything's coming at us from the northwest. Thanks, Dale. Everything's coming at us from the northwest, and it kind of stalls out, so tracking east. So you just looked at 7 o'clock in the morning Saturday through 4 o'clock. Hopefully this doesn't hold out that long. I don't think it's going to rain all day Saturday, but it's going to start raining in the morning right after sunrise. We get a break, unfortunately, overnight. As we get into Sunday, I think we start off dry, but then there's that, again, that northwest flow coming in. We're likely going to be looking at more showers, a few thunderstorms. I don't think we're going to see any severe weather with this. This just doesn't say severe weather at all. It says cooler than normal temperatures. And that's what I mean by Sunday. I think I'm going to have to adjust the high, because I don't think if it happens the way you see it here, we will not hit 81. We'll be lucky to hit 75. So as we get into Sunday evening, I think late afternoon, we get a break. And we're probably going to see some fog during the morning hours over the weekend as well. There's just really no avoiding that when you don't have a lot of wind and you've had quite a bit of rain. And here's your Monday. This is Memorial Day. And again, if you're camping, this is good sleeping weather. That's what it is to me. And I'm going to need a big nap after this week for sure. As we take a look at 3 o'clock Monday afternoon, scattered showers, thunderstorms, and some heavy rain. So the next 12 hours, we've got a calm wind overnight tonight. We may actually see a touch of fog, but again, with this disturbance, another wave coming in around 4 a.m., we're probably going to see some rain showers. 7 a.m., they may be still around. We're going to talk about that after this quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about that and the forecast. Again, kind of an update on that weekend coming up. All right, thank you, Mr. Reuter, for sponsoring that break. Couldn't make it happen without you. As far as your forecast goes, again, tomorrow morning we are going to be waking up with temperatures in the 60s, most likely, low 60s, maybe some upper 50s. How's the drive looking on the coast for Monday? I think we're looking at rain. Just about, the entire state of Alabama is going to deal with some form of rain throughout the weekend. So just keep that in mind. It's just... it's unsettled. I got a text from my uncle today. He was down there doing shore fishing down at Gulf Shores underneath a heavy downpour. So I told him, give it a few minutes. But the problem is, sometimes these fish don't want to bite after the rain, after the front's already moved through. And I learned that firsthand down in Louisiana on my big fishing trip. But I did happen to catch 2 big fish, about 35 inches. I actually had to throw them back because they were too big. It's the first time that's ever happened. But again, the weather has a big impact on the fishing industry. Here's your mowing forecast. We're going to go fair, especially tomorrow morning, because we're going to talk about this real briefly here. A few showers tomorrow morning to start the day. Grass should dry out by the afternoon, so maybe that's a good excuse not to wake up and go out and mow. Friday's good mowing weather. And then Saturday, Sunday, we're going to go fair on that. So here's our chance of rain tomorrow morning. Spotty showers, everything. Notice the flow here. It's northwest to southeast. That's the challenge with the forecast. Whenever you get this set up, any little disturbance that rides in this pattern can give you showers and a few thunder showers. And this should all be out of here. And by the noon hour, we break out with sunshine, a really nice Thursday. And then as we go the rest of the day, more clouds Thursday night, but Thursday, a really nice day, probably one of the nicer days, besides today. Today was just a little windy out there, and that's about it. More clouds tomorrow night. Quick look at satellite and radar tonight. I mentioned the Gulf Coast. They had showers this morning and thunderstorms. They just have rain tonight. So tomorrow, 63 to start the day, up to about 80 degrees at 3 o'clock, west-northwest winds at 10, and the shower activity should be gone for a while. You know, everybody sees this graphic and they think I've got a red Mustang. I've actually got a blue 69 Mach 1. That's a 69 Boss 302. However, that model there that you see in the driveway, that's supposed to, it's blue, but the weather software that we have changes it to red. So that's why it's red. Everybody's like, why don't you put a blue Mustang on there? I'm like, we'll see. That may be a mission, maybe something I need to fix, try to get that fixed. But here's your 3-day forecast. 77 tomorrow, 76 Friday, the nicest day of the week, and shower chances increasing for Saturday and the entire weekend. I'll tell you the rest of the story, that 10-day forecast coming up at 10 o'clock. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you.